right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I have to burp. You may do the intro.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Too Good For You podcast, only podcast here in California. As you can tell, me and Tyson are sitting next to each other once again, which only means one thing. What is that, Tyson?
It means we've run out of content on our own and are fishing for our friends to give it to us.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck you, bro. I'm not a fish out here.
Said, I'm the damn whale, fucker.
Big fish out here.
We're joined by none other than longtime friend, good friend of the pod, Mr. Nick of Lunar Loox. How are you today, bud?
It's been a decade. Guys, that shit is crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy, but we're here, man.
Yeah.
Got COVID, had to reschedule. We're back, though. We're back.
Hey, as long as you're
That's the only
strong,
time I'm
better.
getting COVID. I thought I was immune, but apparently I'm not the Superman that I thought I was. We're good, though. We're back. Almost died, but we're back. It was actually really bad. I don't know if you guys ever had it, but
I've had it, yep.
I'm vaccinated and everything too, but crazy shit.
It's not
out
something
here.
I would wish on anyone, to be honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, we're glad you're good.
Thank you.
Glad you're
Me
healthy.
too.
Glad to have you here.
Exactly.
Excited to talk. Like you said, it's been a good decade since.
Literally a
day.
Now
like
we can
there's
say-
10-year reunion.
Like just think about that.
Say that.
Just think about how long a decade is.
10.
We're here.
It's one of those
Hopefully it's not
things-
another decade
No,
next time.
Definitely.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
It is weird though thinking about that though, because I'm like, yeah, like I remember high school, like yeah, my senior year, like I can remember that, like that was like 3
Like,
years
feels
ago.
like- yeah.
And I was like, no, that was 10 years ago. I'm like, fuck, that was a long time ago. But
I still feel like I'm like a young person,
Yeah, I
just
don't
with
know.
like adult money and like a kind of an adult
Me.
body. Like I kind of have facial hair now,
Yeah.
but like ain't shit changed.
yeah, I can't do anything. I still don't want to do taxes. Still calling my dad like, yo, dude, my tire fucking went flat. Who the fuck do I call? AAA. I'm like, fuck, you're right. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, no, I'm still a 16-year-old trapped in a 27-year-old body.
Now, have you guys heard of the high school reunion for Lakewood? There's been
No.
some shit going around.
Uh-oh, drama.
That you're
Did
part
you
of
guys-
the committee?
No, mm-mm. But like, there's like a document that's been
Oh, yes.
going around. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I have seen it. Uh-huh.
Did you guys fill it out?
No. I thought
Are
that
y'all
was-
going?
Maybe. Do I have to fill it out to go?
I thought it was just to join the committee.
No, that was like.
Wait, really? Maybe I didn't read.
Maybe I didn't even. First off,
Either, to be honest.
maybe
was
I
like-
didn't even get
I was
the
like,
real
this
one.
is
Who
kind
knows?
of a little bit too much words for like whatever's going on here.
He lost
They
interest
just
real
they
quick.
just like wanted like suggestions for like price and themes and stuff like that, and I was like, I kind of don't care.
Yeah. I was like, I'd rather just have someone tell me, like, hey guys, 10 years is on August 4th, 8 p.m., Dave and Buster's. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going.
I would go to
I
that,
don't
to be
care. Like,
honest.
just tell me
Yeah.
where to go.
But that's not a high school reunion though. Like Dave and Buster is gonna be like, okay, so
So
what is a high school reunion to you? Like, what is the point?
Well,
I'm kind of going somewhere with this, but
All right.
we'll see.
all right. He's interviewing us now.
Yeah.
All right.
dude.
We're the guests. Yes, finally.
I mean, I
my
figured
shoes.
it's a good chance to talk about it,
definitely.
because something fairly recent
Well,
and related to us and
I thi-
some of our friends.
Well, the reunions were supposed to be for what? Just to like socialize again, meet up with the people you haven't seen since high school for however many years, right? But
10 years.
with social media now, it's like.
But like, are you though? Are
What?
you really gonna go up to like people you used to
But
know
see,
10
yeah,
years
bro-
ago and
bro,
say like, "What's up?"
Sometimes I'm in the store and I might see someone. I'm like, "Am I doing surface level talk right now? Or are we just gonna say, hey, how's it going? All right, bye." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like
It
at the
feels-
same time, like people from high school still kind of have like their own cliques, so like they're gonna go hang out together, right? So it's just gonna be.
you think it's
like,
gonna be the
these
same
groups-
thing? Like,
I don't know. To me,
they
high
should get back
school
to
reunion-
Lakewood, like high school, and see where everyone sits on the benches.
Yeah.
I think
We
that's
should have
what.
it back in high school.
Yeah.
Do exactly what you did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That'd be a good high school reunion.
Damn, I would be like alone in a corner, low key, because no, look, like all my friends were like either older
Uh-huh.
or younger, because it was like water polo. Those water polo guys and swim guys, so they're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna be going around like, yeah, y'all want to adopt me just for like the night or something?
Goes in one group. Hey guys, how's it going?
I don't know.
Rounds, just cruising.
But would I talk to people? I mean, if I'm there already, I probably would. You know, just hey man, like I'm here. You might as well talk to them. You know, you never know.
True. But do you think like high school reunions are like, here's where I was, what you knew me in high school, and here's where I am now, like kind of a flex? Like, let's see how far you've come in 10 years.
I think kind of what Eman was alluding to. I think just in a time where social media, just the internet wasn't like a big thing, you could definitely see that because, yeah, like all you could do was grind in silence back in the day. So yeah,
hope people think you're grinding in silence.
Once you leave high school, yeah, it's like I don't know what Eman was doing for the last 10 years. I don't know what Nick was doing for the last 10 years. And then the reunion comes around, and Nick pulls up in the Corvette. You're like, what the fuck? Like, how did you what? Like Nick was what? Like,
I feel like that's when the reunions were prime time.
Yeah.
Like
it makes sense though.
Yeah.
It's like I knew you 10 years ago. I don't really know you now. Let's
But
let's see
now
like
it's like
reconnect possibility
it's
but now it's like we kind of know what people.
because of social media.
But what you
right?
see on social media isn't necessarily.
That is true.
But it's also,
that's the thing too.
The thing with it too is it's like what I think what both of you are kind of alluding to is like you with the ability of social media, you get you have the opportunity to pick and choose who's in your circle essentially. So it's like, oh yeah, like Nick was cool, so I connected with him, and I still know what Nick has been doing the last 10 years, even though I'm not like Nick's best friend or like anything. I still like seeing him, like, oh, that's cool, like Nick has been doing this, and like. If I see you at a 10-year reunion, I could be like, "Hey, buddy, like, hope all is well. I see you've been doing all this crazy stuff." And if someone who I don't follow,
personal in-person reconnection
like
versus
just
seeing,
someone who I don't follow and really don't talk to, I feel like I would be less inclined to be like, "Hey, it has been 10 years, buddy. Put it there.
Put it there."
I don't think I have that because it's like obviously it's not. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's like maybe if I didn't care enough 10 years ago, like, am I gonna care 10 years later to be like, "Hey"?
See, he's all like valid.
You got a point, my boy.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a personal thing, and maybe I'm a dick for that. But it's like, yeah, you get the chance now to pick who you want to see your life perceived as or whatever. So it's like when 10 years come, it's like, I mean, I already kind of the big argument is like, oh, I already see like everyone I follow on Instagram, so why don't they go to my 10-year reunion?
That was my argument.
You kind of got like a good middle ground point there. It's like
I'm very
are you neutral?
It
are
makes,
you neutral right now?
It makes a lot of like logical sense.
Yeah.
There's like the extremes where it's like, yeah, I want to go show out, flex on like all my high school acquaintances, and then you have the people where it's like, I literally do not give a fuck about any of you. Exactly. I'm not saying I'm either one of those, but like that's a good like middle ground. Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
It's like it'd be cool to see someone who I haven't seen in a while to be like, oh man, hey, like hope all is well. But outside of that, that's about as much as it's probably gonna get.
Like that surface level.
I might go now. I don't know. We'll see.
You might go now.
You might.
It might just be interesting just to see.
I feel like I would just ask people like, hey, are you going? And if there's enough people I know, like,
I was gonna ask you.
I might go.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys.
Because I don't want to just go and not. Well, Dion's the one that sent it to me.
Yeah.
Your boy Dion.
Yep.
Shout out to Dion, man. Dion's the shit.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it just could be interesting, regardless. Either way,
Let's just do the pod there.
I'll
10-year reunion. Well, let's have our own little table and like.
We'll just bro. We'll just be in the corner away from everyone else. Everyone's like partying, like here we are at our 10-year reunion. Like, oh my god.
And you
can wants to interview, just come on.
Yeah,
you can hour-long podcast.
You can do like 5-10 minute interviews, just like have people come
what you been up
what's
to?
up, where you at, what you doing. If it's not interesting, you go on
Thank
next.
you. What Drewski
What's that one thing?
Speed dating.
What's that one YouTube thing with the buzzer and like the date? It's like the dating thing with the buzzer.
Like next or next.
Well, there's like a thing with like a buzzer and like they'll have people sitting across the table and the button will ask
instantly.
Like, a question, and they're just like, oh,
y'all
like,
could
answer the question.
y'all could get a button.
Just hit the button.
And
Next. Didn't even finish their name. Just
yeah. All right, that was enough. Next.
Oh, I hated your ass. Remember that one time in class you didn't let me use a piece of paper? Yeah, I told you it'd come after you eventually.
never forget.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm still petty.
You gotta be. I mean, come on. What else can you hold on to?
Hey, it's how it is. It's a cold world. It's cold out here.
You're not wrong.
Ain't shit sweet.
You are not wrong.
Just kidding. Life's great.
It is. And why is life great, Nick? How have you been? What have you been up to? Why are we here?
I thought you were about to ask me the meaning of life or something. I was like, man, you got the wrong dude on the podcast.
I don't even know. I can't even help you answer that.
Brief little synopsis of the craziness going on right now. I'm a mechanical engineer, hybrid project manager. By degree, I'm a mechanical engineer, and kind of along the way just got a few years of project management experience. So I have a kind of a hybrid role right now in that. Full-time cat dad after work.
You hear that, Tyson?
Babies.
You hear that, Tyson?
He's talking.
Cat dad.
Let the man talk.
Sorry,
Let the man
I
talk.
commend you for that.
Let the man talk.
What's wrong with cats? Who's the cat hater here? I can smell it. I can smell it. I know a dog lover and a cat hater when I see one.
It is what it is.
All right,
man.
we're gonna talk about this in a little bit, Tyson.
All right.
Okay,
We'll talk about
we're gonna table that.
it. Okay.
Main thing that I'm kind of passionate about right now is a small business I've had for two and a half years, but I call it like officially 2 years. Business called Lunar Loox, and I design 3D print car parts, custom car parts for show cars, mostly classic Japanese cars, Teslas. This year, I'm kind of looking to expand my product lines into different cars, stuff like that. Because right now, it's pretty much just like two markets. Datsuns, which is Nissan before they came to America. That was kind of like their test brand. Like, oh, let's not shit on the Nissan name if something goes bad, right? So we're going to use another name just in case something goes bad.
Now they're classics.
So, and then, exactly. So they did really well, so they ended up changing from Datsun back to Nissan. So
Okay.
Datsuns and then Teslas as well is kind of like my two main markets. But as I said, I'm trying to expand that a little bit, which takes a lot of time and effort. But, with everything going on with the day job and being an adult, y'all know that takes a lot of time.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Personal life and stuff like that, but kind of a hustler. So
Hell
I
yeah.
don't get too much sleep.
Rise and grind.
That's
as they
it.
say.
Yeah, I'm more of a nighttime person. Like, I go to my day job, do whatever I need to do. Nighttime is where I
Thrive.
nighttime is where I thrive when no one's on social media or texting or anything. I kind of just lock in a little bit. It's kind of how it goes.
Nice. So what was the inspiration, or what was the sort of aha moment for you to be like, I want to make car parts?
Okay. So I actually used to have my own Datsuns. That's kind of how I got into all this. And there's a lot of problems to be solved with these cars. So I started just making stuff for myself. I had my own 3D printer because I can do the design already. 3D printers are really cheap.
Yeah.
Especially now. So I was like, oh, it only makes sense, I can make my own parts. I don't have to spend egregious amounts of money to other people. So I kind of solved some of my own problems, and then I was like, hey, maybe other people have these problems. So I'm part of like different forums and stuff. I'm sure like people that are into grilling, they're part of grilling forums.
Yeah.
Like, grilling groups on Facebook. There's groups for everything, right? So I'm part of these groups. People ask questions, share thoughts, share their cars, give ideas and stuff. So I just kind of threw it out there. Hey, I kind of made this for myself. It's cool. If you want to buy one, I even like made some for free. Like, hey, sure, I have no idea that I'm going to start a business out of this. And I'd maybe sell like 5 sets a year. So I've been designing and 3D printing my own parts for like 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So 5 years of this is just me hanging out, being a part of the community, helping other people out because they help me too. And kind of came up with maybe 2 or 3 products. And eventually I had an OfferUp listing. OfferUp sucks. I don't know if you've ever been on
I
OfferUp.
love OfferUp. Wait, hold on. Wait, why do you not like
Okay,
OfferUp?
have you ever tried selling a car on OfferUp?
Not
have
a
you ever
car.
tried selling anything on OfferUp?
Yes. I do sell things. On
How did it go?
How many times did you get lowballed
Fine.
the first time?
I'm usually
Every
good.
single time.
Bro, it's like a 20,000 car. Hey, you'll take 1,000? You want to take 1,000 for it?
People are like, hey, I'll give you. Say you have a $15,000 car. They're like, hey, I'll give you $3,000 right now, and then I'll make you payments. I'm not no bank. You're not making payments to me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a law enforcement
"I want it
officer. Like,
full."
no, I know you're gonna run off with my shit. Like, no,
Dang.
that's not. So there's, at least to me, there's a lot of fuck shit going on in OfferUp.
I
Okay.
feel like that's anywhere. Craigslist, OfferUp. What else? I think that's the eBay.
Especially Craigslist spam calls.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, I had an OfferUp listing. At this point, it's just like lunch money every now and then. You know, it's like, oh, I sold a set. You know, get a nice lunch. This guy hits me up and he's like, hey, let me get a set. I was like, oh, I got you. But with Datsuns, there's a 240Z model and a 280Z model. My product was made to fit 240Z. And I was like, will it fit 280Z, which is what he was asking for? I have no idea. So he's like, I have a shop in Ontario. Why don't you just swing by and we can see if it works? I go to this guy's shop and he ends up being really, really well known in the car industry. And he's got all these cars hanging out. And he sees my parts and he's like, wait, we can do so much with this. Like, there's a lot of stuff we need. Turns out my parts don't fit his car. So I designed a set just for him. And he's like, how much you want? I was like, bro, I got you for free. So obviously, that's how you get your
Make a connections there. Yeah.
You know, making a connection. So he loved that a lot. You know, he has a lot of followers on Instagram, and I got kind of lucky there, you know, because a lot of people, it takes time to get to that point, and I think I just got kind of lucky making a connection with this person, and then he has all these cars here that I can design off of. You know, that's a hard thing too, like getting a car that I want to make a product for. I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
So then I have to find someone that has one in Southern California that lives close by. Then I could like rip his fucking car apart, which is hard to find.
Yeah.
These classic Japanese cars. So, yeah, that's kind of how it all started. This random dude just like giving me free reign to do whatever I wanted to the cars in his shop, and luckily I had a really good product that he was really happy with, and it all kind of started from there.
Nice. Right place, right
Thank
time.
you. Shout out to OfferUp.
Yeah.
I talked a lot of shit on OfferUp, but shout out to OfferUp.
He's like, let me put some respect on its name real quick.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, OfferUp.
That's awesome.
Humble beginnings.
And what specific parts are you creating? 'Cause I'm not sure.
Interior parts. So, you know, you have like all your suspension components, and all that stuff is like, if you don't design it right, it's gonna kill you, right? And then, you know, metal is really expensive to cast and machine. It's a big investment, right? But interior parts, you know, I can make it out of plastic. It's pretty cheap for me to 3D print these things. It's not crucial to anyone's safety. Not saying I'm a bad engineer or anything, you know. I think I'm pretty good, but I think that's just kind of a easy place to start for me. And who knows, I might go into something different eventually, going outside of the car. But those parts are usually huge, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I can
definitely.
only 3D print
Whatever
within a
dimensions.
certain area. So it kind of all just made sense to stick with that. Yeah.
So for your 3D printing, every car is different, right? Even like with models,
Yes.
like or years alone, like
Yeah,
it'd be the
two
same
different
model
ye-
but
exactly.
different year.
Pain in the ass.
How do you figure out? Yeah, exactly. How would you figure out like the sizing? Like, do you just go to the guy and like, hey, can you mind if like I do some dimensions, or do you have like a scanner thing that you're working
Yeah.
with?
So yeah. Oh, you.
Come on, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I was in aerospace for 2 years. I learned a little bit.
Were you
from there.
really?
Yeah, a little bit. I flunked out, unfortunately. Sorry, mom and dad. But
Did you go? You went to Cal State Long Beach, right?
yep, yeah,
Yeah. That shit's hard.
yeah.
School was really hard for me, but Yeah, a lot of people. I've tried 3D scanning. I personally don't think it's at a point where it makes things easier, because you need expensive softwares. You need really powerful computers to process all the data. And I kind of did some math, and I'm like, if I really want to utilize a 3D printer, or no, 3D scanner, and have it benefit me, I'm going to have to invest this much. You need the scanner, you need the computer, you need the softwares. And I'm like, that's a crazy amount of money for me right now. So 3D scanners are really good, but kind of just doesn't make sense for me right now. So I just have really simple measurement devices, and it takes a few iterations, a few tries to get it perfect. But I mean, it's really not anything fancy. You just kind of have to envision what you're trying to make, and then take your dimensions off of that. And I'm just scribbling on a piece of paper, sketching and stuff, and then I take that home and work on the design. But sometimes, like, you can take the part off the car and I can take it home with me.
And then work from there.
And that's way easier, so I don't have to make all these trips.
Yeah, it does make more sense.
The iterations can be pretty quick. Like, a design might take me 2 hours and then maybe an hour to print. I can test it out, make changes, and just keep going like that. So, that's kind of like, at least from a surface level, that's how the process kind of works.
In terms of just your interest in cars, was that something that you kind of just grew up with, or was that something that came later in life? Like, were you, one of those kids who your dad or someone was just like, all right, we're going to take this car apart and put it back together, or what just got you into cars in the first place?
When I was a kid, I was really into Legos.
Okay.
Big time Lego kid. My dad has always been into cars, but we never really had classic cars to work. We're never really working on cars, just like doing oil changes and stuff. But we all played like Need for Speed Underground,
Deep cut.
We're basically building cars like at a young age. They were super ugly.
Are you kidding me? I love my design. My graffiti
still love
design
them?
on the side. Bro, I wanted a neon Eclipse for the longest just because of that game. But
Oh, yeah. That's a starter car too, right?
Dude, yeah, exactly, bro.
I know you had the tribal on there.
Oh my god, he knows me. Oh shit.
The tribal design. Oh man. And then when you unlock like the pearlescent paint, like the red, blue, like color shifting.
Oh dude, I don't even think I unlocked that. Like,
oh wow. Yeah, I was going hard on that. I was making like the ugliest combinations of colors, like brown, pink, green. Actually, I might be onto something with that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey.
But so my dad, huge car guy, always had classic cars when he was, in his 20s and 30s. And of course, when you start a family, you gotta sell all that shit. But in high school, my dad was like, okay, my kids are probably going to be out of the house within 5-6 years. And it takes a long time to build a classic car, right? Mm-hmm. Especially depending on your budgetary restraints. But he's like, I think it's time to get like a little family project type of thing. So he got a 1969 Chevelle, which we still have. I don't know how familiar you guys are with that car, but he bought it and it was a pile of shit. At least it ran, and we did everything. Me, my dad, my brother, we got high school friends involved. That's kind of what really started the bug for me, wanting to build my own cars and all that stuff. Yeah, so I thank my dad and I give him shit because cars are a really expensive hobby. Yeah. I know you've been looking at some shit for your Tacoma.
Dude, I look at
I know,
it and I
know
sad.
You have a dream build and you're like, damn.
It's so sad.
You did the Excel spreadsheet with all the prices.
I was looking at rims and tires just the other day, and that alone, just for the rims, it's like $1,000.
Wheels and tires. Tires are not.
The tires alone.
Tires are more expensive than the rims.
Yeah, exactly. So then
you're
I
looking
got
at like $2,500.
There's a lot of things I want to do to that truck, But
You want the lift kit. You want all that stuff.
He knows.
Typical truck guy.
I think you're just a typical truck guy.
it's a co-owner. Is that what it is?
I don't think you're doing anything.
Just because I put
different.
lights and changed my grill the first week I got it.
Hey, it's fire though.
No, you think?
I love how you already had a plan. You're like, this is exactly what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I have a plan. It just costs money to fully execute.
It's a multi-year plan.
Yeah,
It has to be like that. I'm going through that right now, but I know how that feels.
I'm just gonna be honest with the audience and everyone right now. I have absolutely zero context for cars. I
That's
don't know
okay.
anything about cars. So this is I'm just here. So if I look like I'm like stupid, just know that I'm trying.
That's
to be
okay,
like,
bro.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Pulling
I don't
on me
know
right
shit.
I don't expect you to be passionate about everything that I'm passionate about, but don't worry, me and E-Man, we got this conversation.
Like, I'm like back here, like you guys.
What car games you play as a kid?
Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition.
Okay, that's
3?
That's a good
Yeah.
You sure it's not 2? That's the one that like
Midnight
everyone
City,
played.
right?
That's Midnight Club Dub Edition, the OG.
I had 3 dub. I'm pretty sure.
3 dub? That's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. After Dub Edition, it was like that's like the cream of the crop, and I don't think I ever played any other car games after that. Cause I was, how old were we? Do you remember?
The Midnight.
This is all such a blur to
What's
me.
it, PlayStation 2,
2,
right?
yeah.
So it's
PS2,
like
something
2000.
You sure it wasn't 3?
I didn't play it on
I
that.
had
Yeah.
it for the PS3.
Oh,
I had
okay.
PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So I know whatever game I had, it was for the PlayStation.
But then you didn't play any games after that or follow
PlayStation
like
2?
car scene.
No.
Actually, yeah, it is
Tokyo Drift?
PlayStation 2.
Yeah. You didn't get into Tokyo Drift
Not
or
like,
Fast and the Furious.
Not to where I was like, oh my god, like I need to know everything about cars. I was like, oh yeah, that's a movie.
Bro, I watched-
I was just like,
bro.
okay, like I just saw the
Every time
movie.
You didn't like modify the car in the game though, and you're like, damn, I wish I had it in real life. Come on, man.
Yeah, of course, but I think I was also an 8-year-old child who didn't have a car in the first place. So I was just like, yeah, give me a fucking fast car. Like I didn't know what was happening.
We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are back. Sorry,
happened,
everyone.
Tyson?
We doing my job over here to make sure we could hear Nick's beautiful voice and listen to all of our stories. So I had to fix some audio issues, but I think we should be good. But yes, we were talking about car culture and car meets and just how car culture itself is just an interesting thing. I've always been fascinated about, like, I would love to know like cars and like how cars work, but I'm like, not. I just take.
You
I'm
press
one of
the
those things I
gas
take
and
for
you
granted.
go?
Yeah, I'm
You
just
press
like,
the
dude,
brake
I don't
and
know
you
my
stop.
car works.
That's all you need to know.
But no, yeah, I feel like that's one of those things. Like I was like, I would love to just have like knowledge of.
Or you just
cars.
want the car without working on it? Is that a thing? Like, you know how people like see a classic car and they're like, damn,
I just want to
want
just,
that.
Buy it.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's really hard to get there if you don't
Yeah.
like, do it yourself, you know.
Or know
Like, a
how
lot
to
of-
do it. I mean,
I think that's the
Another
thing
thing,
is I
too.
just got to. I would just want to know how. Like I don't have it. Like I said, I have no context for cars, so I'm always interested just to like.
Well, it's like little things like, at least when I started driving, I had a beater, and then like your alternator goes out, and it's
How
like,
do you
am I
fix
gonna
that?
pay a
Yeah.
shop like $500? Like I don't have $500.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna get the part for like $60, and I'm like YouTube.
Who's that? Who's that
YouTube.
one?
Do it.
Who's
I'm
that
a
one
YouTube
car guy?
mechanic.
Who's that one car guy that just like everyone knows?
Chris Fix.
The Chris Fix, yeah. Anytime. Hey guys, welcome back.
Chris Fix here.
Like,
Chris Fix got on the pod, dude.
Bro.
Hey, if Chris Fix ever sees this video, I mean, you guys would be way up there. But also, shout out Chris Fix. If you ever see this, man,
yeah, he helped me out a lot.
you save me a lot of money. That guy's like kind of honestly a meme now.
Is he? Like in the
Kinda.
car community, like kind of
Kinda,
thing?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. hmm Like people will post a picture of like their destroyed engine with like a hole in the side of the block.
And it's a video.
And then
or, like,
someone comments like, "Hey guys, Chris Fix here." It's like, no, Chris Fix can't fix that, and neither can you. Like,
he said no. He can do
It's funny,
anything.
hey, Chris Fix can do anything, man.
That's good to know, man. I'll
But
have to
talking
do my
about-
research on Chris Fix.
Talking about itches, so me and E-Man are into cars. how did you get into DJing? Because we were talking about this a little bit before
he
the
wants
podcast.
to know your root.
And he doesn't know.
I honestly forgot.
That means
I feel
damn
like I
well.
told
I
this
don't know.
story too many times, but I have no idea how I did it. Honestly,
Is it because of fraternities?
Partly, yeah. But I started before I even got to college, and before that was even like on my radar. But I don't know. Music has just always been something I enjoyed in life. I grew up in a multiracial family, if no one could tell. But so music came from a lot of different aspects. I had a lot of different cultures bring in music. So I listened to a lot of different music growing up and always just liked different music and was just interested in music in itself. And then never really thought of anything of it, but I just, would always just have like headphones in and I was just always listening to music and never really like went anywhere with it. I was just like, oh yeah, I just like music and I just like, I listen to beats, not like I don't listen to just straight beats, but like when I listen to music, like I'm listening to the actual like instruments, like the beats that go into it. Like I could care less about vocals. Like I'm one of those people who I'm like, do anyone listen to rap anymore? And I'm like, no, I don't. I just want, if you have a hard beat, I'm gonna like the song. I don't care what you're saying on it. You can just say poo poo pee pee.
You're like subconsciously dissecting it.
Musically, not lyrically. Yeah. I people would be like, dude, that fucking song lyrics are crazy, and I'm like, I wasn't listening. I was just listening to the noise. Like I just like the noise that
sometimes that's makes. Like what keeps you listening to it more than to the lyrics.
There is certain songs, like maybe I don't think of musically similar to you, but there are some songs where like I hear something like very deep in the back of the beat, a certain tone or certain something, and I'm like, that's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like I don't know how to explain it. And like some people literally can't even hear it, because it's such a nuance that most people are so caught up in the vocals or the bass line, which are like very forward, like in your face, where those things in the back, like you don't really pay attention to them, but like sometimes it does catch my attention a little bit. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
That note needed to be there.
Yeah, like I said, so like for me, like again, like just coming from different music, like it was always a lot of stuff that I listened to that my family listened to, like also just like wasn't in English all the time. So even if I couldn't understand the lyrics, I'm like, okay, like I can hear drums, like I can understand like music patterns. And then again, listening to like a lot of like older music, listening to music coming up, and with the age of like sampling, my favorite thing to do is just find samples. Like I'm not perfect at it, but there's a good amount of songs where I can listen to a song, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I know where this is sampled from, and like, or like sound effects. Like I know, like, dude, this song took a fucking gun sound from this like Alien game.
Sampling,
like, just, like, random like things. Like I can figure a lot of that stuff out.
A lot of like really popular songs these days, if you really look into the sampling, it'll trip you out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's super trippy.
I love it.
It's super interesting. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to like research that, but like when you're passionate about it and you do find like the origin of a sample and no one knows about it except like you and maybe 5 other people.
Everyone else on the message board. It's just fun. But yeah, so that, and then I think there's just, I hate doing this question because it's such a long-winded answer for a stupid answer.
So sorry. Interesting.
Thanks, man. And then it was I don't know, like late middle school, early high school when I was introduced to like, obviously like YouTube came out, and then like I learned what dubstep was.
Hell
and
yeah.
I was like, all right, this is fucking ridiculous. Like I need this, but I didn't know anyone else who listened to that, so it was like my dirty secret. Like I would just go home every day and just listen to like Flux Pavilion and like Skrillex and just random like
that was me.
That,
you should have talked to me about it. We could have vibed.
I was very much just like I'm just doing this. Like I was just very solo about it.
Back then it was so weird.
Yeah, so that's why I never mentioned it. I was like, no, I listen to rap all the time. That's all.
And then now everyone loves it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So yeah, that was like an introduction into like electronic music. And then, like I said, like I just felt like no one would understand me if I said I listened to it, so I never like brought it up. And then once like we were getting out of high school, and then like for us is when like that age started like to come up, and everyone was like, "Oh, dude, electronic music is so awesome!" Da, da, da. And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then so then I would just also just watch like EDM sets. Like I would just watch, random sets. I would watch like, Steve Aoki Ultra 2012 sets, or like random like full length DJ sets, and I'm like, I want to do this. Like this looks awesome. Like I love music, and just this way of like watching everyone just enjoy music. I was like, I want to be someone to provide that sort of like energy to people. And then it just so happened, as all of our fathers do, have some sort of crisis where like, I want to just do something that's totally out of the ordinary. So my dad one day is like, "You come with me to LA." And I'm like, "Why?" Like, I don't. Like, I'm at home. Like, I'm playing video games. And he's like, "We're going to LA." So I go with him to LA, and we go to some fucking random ass like audio store, and he buys like a shitty turntable set and some speakers. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you doing this?"
You don't know how to do this, Dad.
Yeah. I was like, "What are you doing?" And I forget his reasoning for even getting it in the first place, but I was like, all right. So then we had it at the house, and like I was just looking at it, and I was like, fuck, like should I ask him if I could like touch it? Because like I don't want to like just go
mess with your dad's
I had
stuff,
to build
right?
up the courage. Again, I'm like 17 years old, and I'm like I'm scared to ask my dad.
I don't want to break it. I don't want to be the one.
Yeah, I'm scared to ask my dad a fucking question. I'm almost 18. And so I was just like, fuck it. I was like, "Dad, like, is it okay, like, if I, try out the stuff?" And he's like, "Sure, go ahead." So I'm like, all right.
So both of you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, huh?
No, not at all.
What? Why did he just get it just to get it?
I think because he was doing, like, parties for work. So he's like, "Oh, I was DJ my own parties for my job." Gotcha. And I was like, whatever, dude, sure. And, yeah, and then so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start DJing. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And I was like, oh, well, remember how you wanted to make everyone feel listening to like EDM? So I just went and just downloaded a bunch of like dubstep and just like
started messing
songs,
around.
and I just started just doing it. And then I remember this summer. It was the summer right before we went into college, and I called him and I called Derek over. And I was just like, "Dude, I got some turntables, and I'm DJing in the backyard. Like, just come through."
It was just me and Derek hanging out.
Man, I miss those summer days where we didn't have to work.
Yeah,
right?
Where we could actually enjoy summer.
And I was just like, all right, like, I'm just doing it. And I just remember, like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I was just playing around and just mixing music, and
that's what summer's all about,
fun,
right there.
Then I got
your legendary ad lib from that day.
We recorded my first ad lib. That's
DJ Pharaoh.
That was the ad lib for like 8 years, and then I think once I got to college, because I never partied in high school, so I never went to really any parties in high school.
Me neither at all.
So I never really. Every party that I did go to was just someone on an aux cord. So I didn't know that people like actually like would DJ parties. I get to college,
it's different,
and they're fucking DJing, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And there's actually people here. Like, this is not just my two friends in my backyard.
Like, I could be of some value here.
So
I bring some value to the table right here.
Yeah. So again, to make this long story absolutely longer, I was a freshman, obviously, and the fraternities are always trying to get you to go to parties. So I went to a party, yada, yada, yada. The fraternity I ended up joining, I went up to the guy who was doing the DJ, and I was just talking to him. I was just like, "Hey, man, like, how long have you been doing this? This is a dope setup. Like, I just bought my first mixer. Like, I really been, like, wanting to get into, like, DJing. Like well, we were just talking, and then, like, sometime in the middle of the party, he was just like, "Hey, you just want to like hop on?"
Your turn.
Yeah. I had absolutely nothing. I just had his laptop, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like, all right.
Did you have a flash?
No, I didn't have anything. It was just his laptop that was on there. He's like, "You can just use anything you want on the laptop," and I was like, "Oh my god, okay."
Free reign.
Trust me. You trust me enough. This is like literally my second day in college, and they're just like, "Go ahead."
You really had the opportunity to play some bullshit.
Yeah, not even like in a funny way. Just
He
like
trusted you.
absolutely.
He trusted you.
If only you know Miles came out at that
demoralizing way. I could have absolutely just crushed all my hopes and dreams that night. But thankfully, I didn't. And yeah, he helped me. We were going like back to back. And again, we were just like talking and I was just learning from him. And so shout outs to Manny, shout outs to Victor, the OGs who taught me like pretty much everything and got me like hooked up. And then, yeah, like
that's hard.
I had my little mixer in my dorm room and I would just practice in the dorm room. And then, yeah, and then once I joined the fraternity.
Oh, again, so you were still rushing at this point.
Yeah, this was, but
damn, you were rushing and they let you take the.
No, before I was this. Like I said, this was my second day, and this was preschool even starting. They were just like, yeah, sure, go
This
ahead.
man was already a pledge at that point.
Wow.
They were, and so like by the time I started like rushing the fraternity, yeah, they already knew like, oh yeah, like Tyson's the DJ, you da 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 da, and I was like, I guess. And so by the time I got in the fraternity, like I said, like these guys were older. So they were like, I'm ready to retire. So by the time I was a freshman,
they want to go party. They're like,
exactly. They were like,
they're trying to hand it over the torch. They're trying to hand the torch over.
So by the time I was a freshman, like once I got in there, it's like, dude, like every weekend's on you.
Himothy.
And
Him Kardashian.
I fucking took that shit every weekend. But then I changed my music style. Obviously, I didn't really do much EDM, and then I learned how to actually DJ like real music and not just noises. And yeah, and I think that was also just kind of how I got into it. To make my long story short, that's what brought me in.
Now we know.
We know.
So it was a mixture of everything we talked about.
Yeah.
All the different options that we came up with before this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's just conglomeration of all of them. That's cool.
Now we know.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I had a feeling it's going to be a little bit of everything.
I feel like him joining a frat had helped out a lot with it.
It just helped with the exposure because like if I wasn't there, like I wouldn't know how I could DJ parties. Like I DJed parties every weekend, almost every weekend, and so that's practice. Like I was DJing it's not like they would come back and help. They're like, all right, Tyson, you're here. Party starts at 8, ends whenever the fuck we want it to be done. So I'm up there for hours.
There's no ending time.
Just grinding up there.
Whenever the cops come,
basically. My balls off in my little cubicle with my speakers. Like just, I was just grinding out there. And yeah, because of them, they had, I had opportunities to where like I was able to meet other people. And
you get in front of a lot of people too with fraternities.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did some big shows.
Were you in a frat too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was really good best friends with someone that was in a fraternity, so they kind of like adopted me, but I never rushed or did anything. Like I was cool with everyone, so I still got to go to the parties, but I didn't have to do all the
Tyson
crazy
said they would have kicked me out. So thanks a lot, guys.
I mean, I didn't go to like the formal, like the big things, right? But if they just had like a little house party and stuff, like sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I dormed at Cal State Long Beach for my first year, so that's like kind of how that all started. But pretty much after that, like I was like, you know what, like I should probably focus on school. I didn't do too bad freshman year. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not something I could see myself being consistent with through 4 years, while like keeping my study as priority. So dude, like, I got it out of my system. Yeah, the first year.
That whole freshman year was shit for me. I didn't even go party. I was playing pool. I was at the pool tables at the USU, right? And freaking all my breaks, just playing pool. Didn't even study, didn't do no homework. Came home, played my video game. Oh, man, it was a mess.
Yeah, it's a weird transition period, I think. College is weird. It is a weird transition.
It was fun, met a lot of cool people, but at the same time, it's like a lot of classes that you really don't think you needed to take. A lot of money.
Yeah, looking back at it, I'm like, I always forget, like, because my sister's in college now, and I forget, like, you'd have to take, like, say you take, like, 5 classes a semester, 4 or 5 classes a semester.
That's full time, right?
Yeah.
Already? Yeah, that's full time.
That's, like, minimum 8 classes a year. I'm like, 8 classes? I was in there for 4 years. I'm like, 8 times, I took, like, 36 classes. Like, I remember, like, 4 of them. The other ones, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was either blacked out
in those class, first 2 years.
Didn't show up in class. Like, I just don't remember, like, having to learn. Like, I'm like, what the hell did I even do? Like, I don't remember half of the classes I took.
I kind of question how I did it sometimes.
Yeah, same.
Because, like, that's a lot to juggle. And, like, I don't know. Some people even work through college.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had a part-time job on campus.
I was, like, a private tutor. So, like, I didn't work for someone. I kind of worked for myself.
Yeah.
But that was, like, maybe 3 hours a week. But, like, other than that, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Just studying for.
Until it was, like, senior year. And I was like, okay, I kind of have to get an internship.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when the no sleep started, and it hasn't ended.
The engineering life. That's engineering
Yeah,
life. That's engineering life, though. Like, that's hard, guys. I don't know if whoever's gonna get into engineering. Yeah.
The hardest class I ever took, communications. Had to go up in front of the
Really?
class, do the speeches.
Oh, were you the big group, the small group,
Smaller group.
Oh, smaller group.
I screwed up. I didn't choose the right class.
What is
didn't
the right
choose
class? Individual?
The lecture hall, where like
That's the right class?
I mean, I would guess because
I hate speaking in front of public. Like,
well, the thing is, in my smaller class, I had to go up and talk to my peers, right? In a lecture hall, I don't think they would have time to get through everything.
Yeah, you have
That
like
is true.
200 plus
That is
people.
true.
I think you had to go up there and talk.
I never had to speak in any of my lecture courses, but or my small
Smart
classes.
man.
I, had to. I mean, I didn't care. I don't have a problem speaking. I don't have a problem with it. But yeah.
this is why we have podcasts. He has a podcast.
Obviously, all I do is fucking talk. So I don't have a problem with it. But yeah, I would say, yeah, the bigger the classes are, the teacher doesn't want to spend that much time to listen to everyone, and
Yeah, they don't care.
they
about
also
you.
don't have the time because classes only.
They don't care.
an
They
hour.
care about you, but they don't care about you that much
Yeah.
on a personal level.
Yeah. Do you watch any car shows? Like, are you like a Top Gear kind of guy?
I actually don't watch any TV.
Really? He's
Yeah.
hustling.
Straight to the grind.
He's grinding,
Don't-
bro.
I don't
That's
have-
what it is.
honestly-
No external media.
I'm like one of those undiagnosed ADHD people. Like
Mhm.
I really have a hard time sitting in one place and just like watching a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I watch a screen while I'm at work.
Mm.
You know, I'm on the computer for majority of the time. So like the last thing I want to do is like come home.
Look at more screen, yeah.
If I have company and they're like, "Hey, let's like watch the show or watch a movie," that's perfect because I have communication with that person. I also have TV show, so it's like a little bit more stimulating.
Yeah.
But like alone, I'm like, damn, I have this to do, I have that to do.
He's watching it, but it's not peaceful. He's like,
I could be like designing this right now. I mean, sometimes I do just like putting everything to the side and just like being with my cats or just like talking to a friend like on the phone or something. But yeah, like movies and stuff, like I want to watch the movie. Like there's shows like that sound interesting. I don't know if you heard like a show on Netflix called 100 Humans.
100 humans.
It's just like
That's
a group
different
of
than the
100
100.
humans. It is different. It's just like
Okay.
a group of 100 humans, and they do like science experiments to determine how the human brain works. And
Oh, sounds
you know,
interesting.
male versus female, different age groups, kind of make certain assumptions out of that. And I watched one episode, and I'm like, God damn, this kind of sucks.
Wait, how long? Is it like 30 minutes or are they like the 50-minute kind of like?
I didn't get through the first episode.
Oh, okay.
But like it sounds interesting. I want to
Yeah.
know. I want to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how people's brains work and
He
different
wants a
ages,
tidbit.
different
Yeah.
males and females. But I'm like, I couldn't get into it. There are certain shows though, like New Girl. I love New Girl.
Bro, have you started
watched
that?
it.
Hold on, wait.
You're not
Did you
the first
start that?
person
I
on
love
this
New-
podcast who is a new girl.
New Girl. I binge watched that.
Dell too.
Oh, Dell too.
Everyone.
Seen Jane the Virgin. That was real good.
I haven't finished that one. I started it. Yeah.
Okay. That's fire. Honestly, like Breaking Bad was fire, but that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But that is a fire. I still haven't finished Breaking Bad.
I didn't see
Like,
the last episode.
I heard that's the best one, bro. What do you mean? Like you're at the finish line already, dude.
Just shows my commitment level to these TV shows, man. It just
So I could drop you at any time.
once there's something like in the back of my head, like you got to do this, I'm like, nope, got to get to the grind. And it's something I enjoy doing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, do I enjoy watching TV or do I enjoy like designing this or developing this product a little bit better? And it's like, I like this more, so I'm going to choose what I like more.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing. It's not like what do you call it? An awkward silence.
It's not like you don't like media.
No, it's not like fueled by like financial reasons. Like I enjoy doing this, you know.
But you rather do something else with your time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Time management.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this whole like my business, Lunar Loox, it's like really what I'm passionate about. Like my day job's cool, whatever, but like this is like what my true passion is. So it's like it's what I want to do with my free time, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of bringing it back, perfect bringing it back. I don't even think we got into it. How did you get the name Lunar Loox? Because it is okay. Lunar Loox.
Lunar Loox.
Lunar Loox. So at first I thought it was Lunar.
This is a cringy
Loox? Loox. I was like, Loox. What is
you
this?
and everyone else besides me.
but then I was all like, look, and then I had to like pronunciate it, and I was like, oh, looks, that makes fucking sense. Like, oh, okay, but all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, lunar is 5 letters, right? Never mind. That explanation makes no sense. I was gonna say like it's the same amount of letters. So like when you make a logo out of it, it like lines
It'll
up.
be
nicely.
symmetrical. Gotcha.
That doesn't make sense.
Damn, real graphic design standpoint. I like that.
think we tried the LOOKS. It just looked weird. So of course you gotta do something cringy and drop the KS and then turn it into an X. But so I started out. My main product was gauge adapters for a classic Japanese car, and the gauges, they show your miles per hour, your RPMs, all your information on what the car is doing, right? And at night they glow up, right? You have to be able to see them, so they have light. And I've always been like super interested in like space, stars and stuff. So I guess the lighting of the gauges is kind of reminiscent like when you look up at the stars and you're camping and you see the lights and they kind of light up your area like the moon or whatever. And then so yeah, basically it looks like lunar looks like the stars. So my first name was NC Engineering Works, which is really long. So Nick Clark, Engineering Works.
Gotcha.
So yeah, putting that down on a sticker, it just looked crazy.
That sounds like the LLC, and then the Lunar Loox is a business under the LLC.
Exactly. Oh yeah, like an umbrella.
Yeah, it's the umbrella term.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
But yeah, I rocked with that for like 6 months, and then a bunch of people that were like close to me, they're like, "You gotta drop it, dude." like we love you, and like you've come a long way, but like it's time to like switch it up and like do
those are real
legit.
friends, man.
You know, I went on Canva, I made like a shitty logo with like a engineering gear, like all the cringy engineering stuff. And then so I just had to like game plan. I was like L and L Lunar Loox. You know, it's something attractive for a business name. What do they call it? Onomatopoeia? Where
like,
you have multiple words with the same starting letter. I forget what that's called.
Man.
I think it might be an onomatopoeia.
Something like that.
But, yeah, kind of weird how it all started. I don't know if I'm completely happy with it right now. Kind of sounded really good in the moment, but it works. So I'm going to kind of rock with that.
Oh, yeah.
Until I literally can't because I've come too far with it. You gotta stick with the name, man.
Exactly.
You guys can't change your podcast name. They're like, who's that podcast? Is that another new podcast?
Exactly.
I already did that once.
Yeah,
already.
only one time. You only get one rebrand,
Hey,
guys.
too good for you is fire though.
Thank you. Yeah, we did. I've done 100 rebrands in my life for
Sick.
sure. It's not easy, but.
And your guys' logo is based on like Rugrats, kind of.
Yeah,
That's hard.
Reminiscent.
That's super hard, but I love that.
We're just two dudes who like talking about old things.
Really? Yeah.
Old things and new things.
Old things and new things. Yeah.
That's why we
Fresh.
bring on guests, so they have new things to bring to us, because we don't know what's like
Are you
going
guys
on.
ever get tired of just like talking to each other?
Sometimes. Nah.
I mean,
just
he
kidding.
didn't know about your DJing, so like
I did know,
he
but
learned
I just
something
didn't
new.
know the like nitty gritty details of it. Of
course.
like But now I do.
Look, now you never have to talk about it again because
I'm sure I will.
because guests that come up here should do their research and they have to watch your
Hey, you might need to look into the camera and say that again one more time.
I'm sure I'll have to tell this story plenty more times, and I don't have a problem telling it. But.
Well, if you get a guest on and they haven't watched the best Too Good For You podcast, then you'll know right off the bat if they ask you that question.
I'll tell them, like, you obviously didn't watch it. So you weren't there. You obviously weren't there when I'm telling my stories. Do you have a favorite car?
That's like the DJing story for me.
Go ahead. I don't care. I have time.
We got time.
I think I prefer more of the question like you have to like condense it a little bit for me because I'll go crazy. So usually people are like, you have a 5-car garage. What cars are you putting?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
sure.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than I could think of.
So
exactly.
5 cars.
Tacoma. Like, nah.
Slam Tacoma, lifted Tacoma. I have my drift Tacoma. I have my like regular Tacoma for like taking the kids to school. Yeah, like the mall crawler, and then I have the rock crawler, and then I have like the desert one, and then I have the one that's like lowered. Okay,
sick.
We don't need to ask you that question, right?
You guys know now.
Garage is good, dude. So awesome.
All right. So I need first off, I'm gonna need my soccer dad car.
Okay.
I'm gonna need my dad car. I'm not getting a van.
Those are awesome.
It's not a track hog either, but that would be an Audi RS6 Avant. So it's the hatchback version of the Audi RS6.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a cool like dad car. And then I'm gonna go with like the stupid exotic car, like McLaren P1, like the one that you just keep in the garage and you're scared to drive it.
Only take it out for high school reunions.
You know, some light,
something light.
Just when you need a little flex or
I
something.
was gonna say 7 miles on there. What the fuck? You don't drive this thing?
You have the car salesman still in the passenger seat.
No, you
have your own tow truck and you just bring it and then you just drop the car and just stand out in front of it. Yeah. Look at me. I'll call you back in 20 minutes when I gotta leave.
That's the car where you're like, oh, I gotta like get some time to myself. So you go out to the garage and you sit in the car
and you sit in the car.
You just like feel the steering wheel and you're like, yeah, it's my McLaren P1.
If I did turn this on, this shit would be crazy.
Yeah, that shit would be hard.
That would be hard.
Delayed gratification for next time I drive it like 50 feet. Okay, so I have 2 cars. Something just for the weekend. You know what? Let's go with daily driver.
Sure.
Damn, I hate to say this, like Maybach.
Those are nice.
Like something I can get driven in.
What's wrong with that?
I was gonna say you can't drive that though. You need to drive it.
Yeah, someone's gonna drive me. But at the same time, I love driving. So like maybe sometimes I want to kick the driver out. Or you know what?
It is your car.
You know what? No, I'm going with the Rolls Royce Ghost instead of that
nice
one.
one too.
Yeah, I'd want to drive that. What am I missing? Like in my utility section, like a track car.
I mean, you could do it.
I need a classic car. Probably like an old Impala SS.
Oh, okay.
Like you know the ones that like
the big ones. Yeah.
Gigantic and they're like. You can never park that at the grocery store. Like, there's no way. No way. Like it's too huge. Okay, so that's 4 cars. I got one more.
Make it a wild one. Just fucking wild.
You know what?
You could say a Res Naughty or whatever that brand is called. Have you seen that?
Oh, Koenigsegg 1-to-1.
What is that?
Koenigsegg?
Yeah.
It's some crazy. Is he Swedish? He might be a Swedish guy, but he's a crazy Swedish guy, and he's got all this money, so he just designs like his own cars, and they're absolutely crazy. Probably like some of the fastest cars in the world.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have to look it up later.
Of course, I could never afford one, like $4 or $5 million cars, but like definitely like engineering masterpieces in the form of like a car.
Next time we see Nick, he's gonna make his own car.
Yeah,
like,
why
just 3D printed.
Yeah, bro. You know how light that would be? Like,
do you know how easy I would die with a plastic car?
Yeah, might as well get a motorcycle, right?
Hey, it's safer than a bike.
No.
You know what's funny though? It's crazy how disconnected the car scene is from the motorcycle scene. Like,
super different.
Like you don't see car guys like riding with like bike guys. Mm-mm. Like it's very close, but
very different.
But the people are very like distant in like a different way. It's kind of interesting.
Even certain cars too, no? Because like you have like the classic car,
very clicky.
You have like JDM car. Sorry guys, we had to move the camera because our other camera died. So if you guys want to support the show, go to patreon.com/toogoodforyoupod so we can get another fucking camera.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I actually had no idea you guys had a Patreon.
Yeah, I mean we don't really do anything with it, but yeah, we have
note
one.
taken.
It's just there. Yeah, just the different car makes have their own car scenes, which is also pretty interesting.
Yeah, the car scene is like very inclusive, but also very cliquey at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like outwardly, everyone's like, "Oh, like we respect your build. Like everyone should be able to build their car exactly how they want." But then, like in their own circle, they're like, "Oh yeah, you can like stay over there." Yeah. We're like we got our own little group over here,
it's
so
like you can
it's kind of
like,
fake.
Oh, they're amateur builders. We're the professional.
Or
builders.
even like some people just hate BMWs.
Yeah,
you know, it's like there could be a really cool BMW. Like, oh, fuck that guy. It was like he could be like a really nice guy. You never know.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's kind of like that. It's kind of toxic. But
I mean, is it? I mean,
yeah.
I don't like.
I
don't like Infinity drivers. Sometimes I don't like Infinity.
Yeah, you're part of the problem,
bro.
man.
Why? Why am I part of the problem, bro? First off,
being inclusive.
I know a cool guy that drives an Infinity.
All right.
What if I got an Infinity?
Then I'd probably make fun of you.
Why? It's a car.
Nah, I'll talk my shit, but like I'm not gonna like exile you. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, we're all one big happy family.
But you still
until we start talking shit, but we can hug after. It's cool.
Until it starts coming out, then it's like that's why you have a fucking Infinity.
Yeah. Cars are cool though. I mean, I wouldn't say it consumes my whole life, but it's definitely a big part of it. You know, a big part of the biz and a passion for me. Something I like to do with my free time.
What do you see the future? I know you were saying that you're looking into other cars, but do you already kind of have like a small roadmap of like what cars you want to get into and like what other parts you want to try to produce, or what does the future for Lunar Loox look like?
Honestly, that's kind of like a monthly thing I kind of look at. Right, it's kind of whatever my friends have, you know, so it's what I have easy access to. So right now it's like Nissan 350Z. I have no idea what it could be next month. Right.
It could be a Toyota Tacoma.
It could be a Tacoma.
You want to fuck with a Honda Accord?
It could be. Honestly. So the cool thing is I do custom one-off stuff too. So people hit me up, hey, can you do something completely custom just for me? And usually I say yes. You'd be surprised how many Accord people have hit me up.
I do see a lot of TikToks now that are just like, here's what I did to my Honda Accord, and I'm like, that's awesome. Am I gonna do that?
People are modifying everything. There's nothing that's exempt from being modified. Yeah. You know,
it's just you just have like those staples that like everyone has to get like the Supras or whatever, or this like that's like the staple cars. But anyone can just
like
the Honda Odyssey.
Hey, Odysseys are fire, dude.
Pretty dope. Modified. Slam it a little bit. Oh my god, bro, that shit's amazing.
A man of taste. A man of culture.
Bro, those look so good, man.
Oh yeah. You know, if I didn't say the Audi RS6, like, okay, say I have like how many kids? It's 5 kids.
Okay.
You have to get a van.
You have to get a minivan at that point.
Honda Odyssey.
That's a great.
I don't know if I want 5 kids, but if it does end up happening, You're gonna see me in a slammed Honda Odyssey for sure.
Those things are dope, bro.
Yeah. But like 2 months ago, you could have asked me, and I would have told you like I'm not making any more stuff for Datsun right now. And then sometimes people around me just have really good ideas, and I'm like, I guess I'm making more Datsun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's a car that Nissan doesn't make parts for anymore. It's kind of a dying breed a little bit, so people are like, we need parts, you know, restore these cars. So it's always going to be a market there, even for things that you don't really think about. So as to where I see this going, it's definitely hard being a one-man team. You know, design, the printers do a lot of the work, but I still have to, you know, communicate with my customers. The worst part is boxing shit up, because like I hate tape.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. Like tape is just super annoying. Cutting it with scissors, and then you have to try and find where you ripped it.
I gotta get you one of
It's
those
so
tape
I know. I
guns,
need to get a
dude.
tape gun, bro. I could just see him like, fuck. Like,
You don't know how many times I think of like things that would be really useful for me, and I just never get them. But like those things are super annoying too. You have to get the angle just like perfectly.
Maybe I'm just professional. That's all I do for fucking work. I'm in
yeah.
a warehouse all the time. I'm like,
Tyson's gonna be my new consultant.
I'll be your box guy.
My
U-line are like this.
my efficiency consultant. U-line.
Me and U-line are like this. Gas shipment comes in. I'm like, let's go, baby. Boxes. Boxes and tape. That's all I fucking get.
And then like I don't even print shipping labels. I write them all by hand.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Sometimes I write like little notes, like put in, you know, something personal.
Nice.
Throw in like a little candy if I got some candy laying
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Write like a little note if the person like communicates with me on Instagram or something. Like, you know, try and make it a little bit of an experience. You know,
Personable.
people spend
Yeah.
their hard-earned money on this, so
Yeah.
you know, might as well make it something memorable for them if I can. But I thought it would make my job easier getting more 3D printers. So I had one, and recently I got 2 more, and I'm like, sick, I have 3 times the output. What does that mean for me?
3 times the work.
That's 3 times the boxing.
Yeah. He
That's
said, God damn it, more tape.
that's 3 times the labels. That's 3 times as fast you run through material
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
boxes
Yeah.
and hardware. So even now I'm like, damn, I have to get more already. Like I just got like 100 boxes like a month ago, and I'm like, I have to order boxes. I thought it'd be good for like 6 months or
Yeah,
a year.
yeah.
So that's kind of stressful. So I don't know how this looks in even a year. You know, it either gets to a point where I have to hire someone, but it's like if I'm hiring people. Like, I run this out of my apartment. You know, I have a 2-bedroom. 1 bedroom is just for work stuff, and then I have where I sleep. But I'm not going to have someone in my apartment, like,
Yeah, no,
you know,
definitely.
working on my orders and stuff. So, like, am I going to get an office somewhere to, like, run this somewhere
Yeah.
else? That's a big investment.
That's huge, yeah.
That's a big investment. I mean, more printers, that obviously that doesn't fix too much. So either it gets to a crossroads where I have to make a decision between my passion and the money making job.
Yeah.
I mean, they both make money, but of course the day job is the majority. So either choose one or the other, or kind of just stick with what I'm comfortable with. I'm trying to kind of practice a life of a little bit more balance. Like early this year, I was super obsessed with the gym. Still kind of am, but I'm not going 4 or 5 days a week. I can't do that.
Got it. Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to practice balance in a lot of things I do. I don't want to spend all my time on my business, all the time at the gym, all the time out with friends, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of trying to find that balance, and also try to explore what this might look like if I do
Definitely.
try to expand. But the last thing I want to do is like lose what's really important to me about like what I do. It's like I don't have to report to anyone, right? Like my designs are exactly what I want, how I envision them, and that's like where a lot of the passion's at, like having that free reign and creativity and not having to stick to all these rules and regulations, like my day job and stuff like that. So I kind of want to keep it like that, keep it a passion, something that I enjoy doing while, meeting really awesome people along the way. Stuff like that, yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So long story short, I have no idea. I got no idea, man. I'm just rolling with the punches, and I'm just enjoying the process. It's the main thing, yeah.
That's good. My last question: if you had to choose like one modification that you could do for a car,
is it a truck or a car?
Whatever you.
Let's
prefer.
make it a car, because you mainly deal with cars, yeah.
Wheels, probably.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I mean, I don't consider like window tint being like a car modification. Like window tint's nice.
Yeah.
It makes the car look kind of cool, but it's either like lowering the car a little bit or wheels. I think so.
Okay.
I think just like wheels alone, I think it sets your car off. It makes it unique compared to all the other ones on the road.
Yeah.
It's the shoes.
Yeah.
It's the shoes
if you see it, like, there's a lot of Teslas, right? And if you see a Tesla with like different wheels, you're like, oh,
it stands out from the Teslas.
Yeah, a little bit.
Something's different about this one. Yeah.
Looks unique.
Yeah.
Looks unique.
And like to me, like I consider myself to be like a pretty, like not too outspoken. Like I kind of keep to myself. So like my car is like a little bit how I express myself outwardly a little bit more than the average person. So like it's kind of all about being unique and just doing your thing. You feel me?
Yeah, I get you. I got one last question. I do. Okay. So you work with Teslas, you work with Datsuns, you work with the Zs. I think I also saw you work with like the Beamer stuff sometimes too.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of different stuff, but that's like the two main things, like Datsuns, Teslas.
What would be like one of the cars that you haven't worked on or done anything for that you really would want to make a design for?
Damn.
Oh, I got him stumped. Yes, I got him.
I'm trying to think. Like maybe like a classic Porsche.
Oh, okay.
Classic Porsche would be really cool. That's a really hard car to get your hands on, and a lot of people don't want to modify them. So I think doing something kind of unique, nothing too outlandish. I don't know, I think it'd be really cool.
You could be the next
a little touch.
What's his name? It's a No, not Pit My Ride guy. He's like
West Coast Customs.
Yeah. He's like a Japanese dude, but he works on Porsches and he has like the wide body kit.
Oh, RWB guy.
Yeah, I forgot.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always smoking cigarettes and drinking Starbucks.
But bro, he's known for that.
He's
like,
lit.
Yeah, So like you could do that too.
And his hands are always dirty.
Bro, he's
crazy.
Working all the time.
You've watched the videos, right?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Dude, these rich ass people.
The thing is, I hate working on other people's shitbox. Like, I just want to sell you a product.
Oh, gotcha.
But I like working on my own cars.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not a mechanic. Like I don't want to work on like your project. Unless it's the homies. We all get together and we help each other out on each other's cars and stuff. But yeah, classic like air-cooled Porsche. That's maybe when I've known I've made it a little bit. That'd be cool.
Which you will. We will.
Thank you.
Speak into existence.
Yep.
Well, yeah, man. I think that's it for me on my end. And that's it for him, man. Thanks for coming in, man, and talking with us. It's been a real pleasure. I've learned a lot about
a decade, bro.
I've learned a lot about cars, more than I probably have in a long time.
I'm glad to kind of reconnect with you guys, and I mean, there's a lot of other people I should probably reconnect with, but I guess this is a start, right?
It's a start.
Maybe we'll see each other at the high school reunion.
We're gonna be shooting the podcast. You're gonna be the first in line to like right there.
Bet.
But yeah, man, no, I'm super excited to see where the company goes from here. Maybe I'll.
It's gonna be a big year, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's what we like to hear, man. But yeah, maybe I'll tap in and be like, dude, I need my first mod on the Accord, man. What should I do? Help me.
I think you're the last person I'd expect, but if you do, I'm all ears, man.
There you go.
Just get it.
Oh fuck! But yeah, guys, if you have anything else that you want to,
The floor is
plug,
yours.
shout out, talk to the people.
Stay blessed. Stay safe. stay blessed, and hope everyone has their New Year's resolutions lined up, because I think those are really important. Try and be a better person than you were yesterday, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Humble guy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Humble
stay
guy.
blessed.
Where can they find you for your business and stuff?
At NICKOFTIME2 on Instagram. For my business at Lunar Loox, LUNARLOOX. That's pretty much where I'm most active. Anything else? I don't really do TikTok. I don't do any other social media too much for my business. But who knows? Maybe to come in the future. Content's hard. Oh, content's
Yeah,
hard.
definitely.
You got the product.
So
you got the
hard.
product. Content's a whole different beast.
Dude.
I don't have it like that. I thought if I got the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, I'd be better at shooting video. That's a goddamn lie. So if anyone's trying to work for free shooting some video, hit me up.
Shit, hit us up too. Fuck.
Beer.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, but maybe that's something I'll try to work on 2024. You know, I can only do so much, so
Yeah.
it's like juggling. But no, it'll be a good one for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Oh man, well yeah, make sure you guys go check it out. Lunar Loox, LUNARLOOX. All your car part needs, hit them up. Get yourself fitted. Get yourself kitted out.
I'm not gonna change your oil though. Don't hit me up on
Said
that.
accessories, damn it.
Yeah, go to your mechanic if your car's broken. I'm there to make it better, not fix it.
Exactly. Evan, where can they find you, buddy?
Well, thanks, brother, again for coming on the show. It was really fun to talk to you about this kind of stuff. And again, hit up Nick at Lunar Loox for anything else. If you want a Tacoma to test on, you're more than welcome.
I already have some ideas.
Oh, there you go, bro. You could take the car. Go ahead.
It's a whole different ball game that I have.
Shit. If you could find something to do super cool in the trunk bed,
I already have an exact idea. Well, not for the truck bed. I don't know what you're talking about. But
we could
I have an
figure
idea.
something out. Who knows? But all right. Anyways, thank you again, brother. I appreciate you coming on. If you want to hit me up on Instagram at EmanuelSnap. Everything else I don't want you to find. Tyson?
Make sure you guys go check out the podcast. Like I said, everywhere at Too Good For You Pod. Number 2, good number 4, letter U Pod. All socials. If you have Instagram, you know how the link in the bio works. Just click that and click what you need. And yeah, you can find me on all my socials at Tyson X Phillip. That's it, guys. See you later.